Hey guys, welcome back to another one. This is Crypto Elite, home to the #1 Theta community. And if you like this content, please like and subscribe to the channel. And you can find me on Theta TV as well. Alright guys, in today's video, we are going to go over one of Theta's solutions to the biggest problem that it aims to solve. And then we're going to check out the actual content delivery network providers that are out there. We're going to look at their annual reports and see if Theta or these other Web3 technologies is part of their risk factor. So if it pops up on their annual reports or quarterly reports, that's how you know that, this Web3 technology is starting to become more mainstream and take over. So we'll dig into, if you're unfamiliar with the content delivery network, this is more or less, how it looks right now. So you could be a user in North America, South America, Africa, but a lot of these content delivery networks, they have servers, and depending on which websites you go to, they pull from the server. So in this example, it could be from Europe, and you could be all the way in South Africa, and it takes a while to get down there. And all of that latency leads to buffering and, not a good user experience. And that's what Theta brings up in their official website, thetatoken.org, as part of the problem. So live video in particular, streaming up today, is poor quality, and that's because of the CDNs. They lack the reach, causing video rebuffering and high load times in many parts of the world. And I think that is a prime example, as we saw in this image before. And then with the skyrocketing data needs, so as 4K and 8K and higher quality with virtual reality becomes more and more mainstream, it's going to create a bunch of bottlenecks. And that's what Theta is out there trying to solve. And actually they have solved. They've created the solution for it. And that's why a lot of people are running our edge nodes and elite edge nodes to, help be a part of the solution. And by this upcoming Theta main chain 4.0, the Metachain 4.0, it takes it even a step further. So this has to do with the Edge Store, and I'll read a little bit about the Edge Store, which takes the content delivery network and amps it up just a little bit. So the Edge Store node is not only stores the permanent data shards assigned to it, but also caches the popular content locally. Therefore, in addition to providing storage capability, the network also acts as a decentralized content delivery network for any type of files. And as we can see here, you can see a decentralized content delivery network for video, music, game patches, software updates, and more. So Theta kind of is making their edge node. So, if you're running an edge node, my computer, your computer, into somewhat of a decentralized content delivery network as well, which is very, very awesome. Now, the big names, some of the humongous names for content delivery network, as we know, it's the Google Cloud, Amazon AWS, Amazon Web Services, and then Microsoft Azure. So I did go into their annual reports, but these companies are so massive and they have so many moving pieces. I couldn't identify good chunks of data, if you will, to share with you guys. So instead, I'm going to share some of the larger, just specifically content delivery networks, and those are AKAMA, one of the largest content delivery networks in the world currently. There's also Cloudflare, which is another humongous content delivery network, and then Fastly. So those are the three examples we'll go over really briefly, though I don't want to make this video all too long, but this topic, can go for quite a while, but I do want to keep my videos short. So what I did, we'll start with AKAMA, and I went to the SEC filings. So every single company, they have to provide filings, quarterly filings, annual filings, and so many more filings with the Securities and Exchange Commission. So I went to the annual filings just to check out all of 2021. We were kind of leaving COVID, so a lot of people were still kind of working from home, especially at the beginning of 2021. So the data was definitely being used at a very high level in 2021, much like 2020. So here is the report. It is not that exciting of a read, but they do have the business and the risk factors. So if you're unfamiliar, AKAMA provides solutions to power and protect digital experiences. So for more than 20 years, AKAMA has managed the edge platform which creates a worldwide network of servers created at the edge of the internet. And by doing so, they're able to be that content delivery network. So that is the overview. If you're unfamiliar with AKAMA, it's one of the largest content delivery networks out there. But what I do want to focus on is the risk factors. So if Web3 and Theta in particular, and other companies very similar to Theta, is going to be a risk, then they would list it in this part of their quarterly and annual reports. So let's check out what the risks are. We may face slowing revenue growth, which could negatively impact our profitability and stock price. That is one of their first risks. Failure to control expenses. If we do not develop or acquire new solutions that are attractive to enterprises, our revenue and operating results could be adversely affected. If we're unable to complete effectively and adapt to changing market conditions, that, they kind of loosely talk a little bit about, they need to stay up to date with what the competition is doing. If not, right now it's a very competitive market. And if they start falling behind, there's no way that they can catch up with, the Amazon, the Microsoft, and the other two companies that I'm going to talk about. So that is something that each one of these companies, they do list in their risk system. So defects in their products, cybersecurity breaches is another big thing. And then compatibility with customers, global operations that could harm our businesses. That's kind of in every one of these as well. Let's see, that one doesn't apply, this one doesn't apply. And not to go through all of these line by line, but no, Akamai doesn't directly list any Web3 technology or anything of the sorts. But, they do mention that they do need to keep up with technology, or else they're going to start running behind. And Theta is, brand new Web3 tech, and it is very cheap to run. So that is something that, these large institutions don't have going for it. Theta doesn't have to go out and build these servers to make this content go around the world. By me running my laptop, I am, by helping Theta and the entire blockchain and network run by me being this origin, and a user somewhere else nearby can use my laptop as a content delivery network. So that is Akamai was the first one. Cloudflare is another one, and once again, a lot of big businesses use Cloudflare, L'Oreal, DoorDash, Garmin, so IBM. These are, not small companies. And once again, all you have to go is into the investor relations, check it out, scroll until you find the annual report, and we'll check it out once again. The annual report, we'll see what this one is all about. The business, very much like Akamai. So Cloudflare's mission is to help build a better internet. They talk about their network and their growth strategy. So a lot to do with Cloudflare. They have a little bit more than just content delivery networks, but let's check out the risk factors. So the effects of COVID-19, definitely, if that was the first thing that they wrote, it hurt them quite a bit. We have a history of net losses and may not be able to achieve or sustain profitability in the future. And that is something else that if I was an investor in Cloudflare, that would be something that I read and kind of make me want to not invest in them, just because they even acknowledge that they have a history of net losses, and if it continues, they won't be able to sustain their business in the future. So they'll have to take on more debt, and if they're, if they have more debt that they can't pay off, eventually their business will stop running. They've experienced rapid revenue growth, but they can't continue that. It may not be indicative of future performance. So if we are unable to attract new paying and free customers, but I'll once again, too long didn't read. They didn't list Web3 in here either. So no, it's not directly something that they are concerned about at this time. The last one, in order to keep this video short, is Fastly, and they have once again a bunch of big names that use them: Yelp, Epic Games, New York Times, Stripe. Did the same thing, went to their investor relations, got the annual report, the 10K, and if we check it out, their business has a little bit more interesting things. So once again, they are a content delivery network. But one thing that I did find interesting, they did list blockchain in here. So I might have to do a one-to-one comparison to Fastly and Theta. So enabling blockchain, cache and accelerate individual transactions on the blockchain in real time is part of their edge use cases. So they have an edge network very similar to Theta. So that is something that I do want to investigate further. Like I said, this video is getting a little long right now, so I will go right into the risk factors. And they more or less say a lot of the same thing as the previous company. So if we're unable to attract new customers is a huge issue for them. If they fail to forecast revenue accurately, they get a lot of their money from a limited number of customers. So if those customers start going elsewhere, that could negatively affect them. Delays, shortages, things like that. So once again, without having to scroll through all of this, they did not directly list any Web3 technology or Theta as one of their risk factors for now. But I think Theta, like I said, is still very much in growth mode. Their mainnet 4.0 will definitely accelerate that growth and start pulling some more money away from these content delivery networks, because they're going to be a decentralized CDN for video, music, game, patches, software updates, and more. So more and more data can start being utilized on the Theta blockchain as a content delivery network, in turn slowly peeling money away from these larger companies, the Fastly, the Cloudflare, and then the AKAMA. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but I will see you guys on the next one.